All right, welcome in. We're shooting a video for this one. No data signal out here, so we'll upload this to YouTube and pump sometime after we're done here. But this is Mike,
Hello.
the Worm Guy.
Right on, yeah.
You're known as the Worm Guy around,
Absolutely,
around town here. Around what, like all of...
Well, southern Manitoba.
All of southern Manitoba, so Mike's going to show us around his
The worm farm.
Worm farm
Homestead.
homestead. Right on. So we're just gonna drag the camera around, and Mike's gonna.
Okay, well, we'll start with looking at the worms here.
All right.
This is the worm farm. I don't know where to start, but I'll come over here.
Well, people want to see worms. That's
Yeah.
they pay the big bucks for that, right?
So the idea with the worms is to eat cattle manure and make nature's perfect plant food. Here is a shot of some worms.
Ah, yeah.
Can you see them in there? They show up.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
This has been had worms in it all summer, and then on the top I put the screen and I put some fresh manure on top, and the worms come up into the fresh manure and I can harvest the worms out of there. I got a big order coming up here for agriculture in the classroom.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that program before.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, got to take 25 starter kits into Winnipeg and they distribute them to the schools.
So, so those starter kits, you sell them, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that program purchases them from you,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
So what's in a starter kit?
Basically 4 liters of worms and worm castings, but very pretty dense population of worms. You just dump it in the bin, start feeding it, and away you go. The worms come up and they eat the stuff and start going, and then the kids, I guess, throw their leftover sandwiches and whatnot in the bin, and the worms have lunch.
So that's something they just carry on throughout the year. It just sits
Yes.
on the corner of the classroom, and
I would guess so, yeah. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure,
that's
but
pretty cool.
what I would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this here is the big breeder pile for the worms. Here was an old pile that I made a big U here, and then
oh yeah, it was shaped different when I was here in this June or whenever it was.
And then this here is, you can see it's still very wet and fresh.
That's the poo.
This is the poo I got from a dairy up the road there, and the worms were in the U around the outside,
Yeah.
and now they're crawling into the new stuff. There'll be a line right where you see here, there's the old stuff and then the new stuff,
Oh yeah.
and you can see the worms are very interested in
Finding the new
moving into the new stuff. Yeah, they
And
love
these
it.
are what, the red wriggler?
Red
worm?
wigglers, yeah.
So what makes the red wriggler such a prized, sought after?
I guess because they're kind of a high energy worm. They move faster than the regular earthworm, which is very slow, and they need a higher calorie diet than like the worms. See, I got everything on plastic here,
Mm-hmm.
not to stop the worms from running away, but to stop the grass from growing into the pile.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yep.
the grass loves this
Oh yeah. Yeah.
nature's perfect plant
This would
food.
be a nice weed pile if you didn't
Yeah.
have the plastic down.
Yeah, and the red wiggler, I'm not sure why it is, but it's a high energy worm and it works fast, and it is pretty
Cool.
amazing. And then I've had them outside here for probably 25 years at least here in Manitoba, so that's
So like the same colony has been
Yeah.
just
yeah.
So
I
you got-
started out with a quarter pound,
oh wow.
which is like half a cup of worms,
And
and then I just
so there's
been breeding them
like
up over time,
a
and
generational legacy of worms here.
yeah, big time. Yeah, there's been a few generations of worms here. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then this is the worm castings that once after it's sat for a while, you take the straw off. This here is stuff that's been here for a couple of years, and then you rake off the top. Here is the worm castings, and then I
screen it.
Run it through the screen there. And then I sell Nature's Perfect Plant Food to people in Winnipeg, and people put it on their garden.
It looks delicious.
It's very good.
Sure, plants crave it.
They do, yes. And plant growers like it too. This is a pile of vermicast that I pulled off the pile earlier on in the summer. And then there was worms in it. I put that other screen on it with fresh manure and pulled a bunch of worms out of there and put that in my bin that I'm going to sell to the agriculture in the classroom. And now the next thing would be to sift this through into the bin there.
Oh yeah.
Because this stuff is all finished. There's still some worms in there, but a lot of them have come out already.
So, like, how did you come up with your process? Did you just
trial and error?
Trial and error. So
over time, yeah.
Lots of innovation and
yeah, lots of playing around.
It's pretty low tech, but you need some kind of process to follow, right?
Yeah. Although it's still learning, still evolving, but it seems to be going pretty good now. I also sometimes have worms at other locations. I have some at the auction mart there.
Oh yeah.
And I got a buddy that has some too, so that I'll have a big pile, leave the worms in there for a bit, and then load up the worm castings on a trailer and bring them over here and sell them too. But I think with the pile I got now, I'm kind of keeping up with what's been going on.
The demand is good? Like
not bad. A little bit of a story there. I had a partner in Winnipeg, and it didn't really work out. She was doing most of the advertising and stuff, so it's all word of mouth because I'm not really online that much.
Yeah.
Trying to stay away from that.
No, I get you. That's
So it's all pretty just cash only and run, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And for my garden too, because I have a big garden and I use a lot of vermicast on my garden as well.
Oh yeah, your garden was fantastic when I was here in June.
Yeah.
It's all ready for the winter now. So what do you do to overwinter the worms?
Just basically put the straw in this pile, and then I have another pile over here.
So you got to go get more straw, or is this?
I am going to get more straw, but this is good for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this here too is a pile that I brought some from over there here, and put some fresh food on there, and then some more stuff on top to try and make the pile bigger. Because if the pile's big enough, it doesn't freeze right to the middle. Here's the worms in there.
Yeah, so they just go where
just
they can generate some heat.
They slow down. Worms are cold-blooded, so they slow down in the winter, but they still keep going. And if it doesn't get too cold, they survive the winter in a pile like this. I have found in the spring, worm a chunk of manure, break it open. There's ice crystals in there. There'll be a worm slowly
just waking up,
moving. Yeah. So 30 below on the fence post is not going to make it. But in the pile, they do not too bad if the pile is big enough.
Yeah, and it doesn't smell. Like, it doesn't smell even remotely like animal or
No.
Like it's...
No, if you start digging around in this fresher manure, you can smell cows. But
sure, but I've been around animals, and my hobby farm, like, it just, you smell animals as soon as you pull in the driveway. But here it's like there's nothing to smell.
Yeah, and then this is another pile over here that I pulled off my pile, and then again.
You go. We can hear you.
I'm just gonna lift this up and show you.
Oh, I see.
This is I call these a worm trap. When they put a screen on the pile and then put the fresh manure on there, and then all the worms come up to eat the new food there.
Well, there's got to be.
So,
how many worms do you think are on this farm?
Well, I don't know. There's lots. This is here what I'm going to use for making the kits for the thing here.
Oh yeah.
And this. I've been throwing worms in here. See here? I've been putting fresh manure on here just to keep them fed, because they can't deliver them for another couple of weeks. So
Okay.
I want to keep
they,
them fed.
They gave you a delivery date?
Yeah. And then what I do is I fill this bucket here
Uh-huh.
with the worm-rich material and dump it in a bag, and that's the
one
starter
kit.
Yeah. You dump it in your bin and
Right.
away
And
you
so
go.
what kind of quantities do people buy when they ring you up and say, bring me some worms?
Yeah, usually one of these I sell for 25 bucks for the starter kit. And then I have sold bulk worms to farmers too, who put them in manure pile.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get basically like a load in my tractor bucket there for 200 or 300 bucks, depending on how full of worms it is.
So what kind of farmers are using that?
Brave ones. The guys that want to experiment, try and make better use of their manure.
Yeah.
The worms have bacteria in their intestine that go into the worm castings and make it be like a probiotic treatment for your soil.
Yeah.
So you can't really compost your entire cattle manure crop there, but you can get a big pile going and feed that on, and then put it in your garden or special places if you want it to be regenerating your land. You put the worm castings on there, and it kind of kick-starts the soil.
Yeah. Well, you say brave farmers. I would say it's smart farmers that are starting to understand what soil actually is.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
It's not that dirt on the ground that you spray chemicals on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so there's a lot of recovery that is needed here.
Yeah.
So some guys buy a thing and then start going on it.
Well, I'm sure they're not bragging in the coffee shop that they got some worms from you.
No, probably not. No, probably not. So other than that, I don't know. That's about it for here.
So that's the worm farm, right on. Well, you can take us for a little tour.
Yeah,
What
sure.
else you got going on? The greenhouse, the solar?
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I've been here since 1980. Moved out here with 600 bucks in a tent, and all the rest. I built my house out of recycled material. Cost me 1,700 bucks. Run on solar power. Here's my solar cells. Here's the power plant for my house. And that's beside there, you can see is a solar oven.
Yep.
And my little solar greenhouse. That's my chicken house over there with the big window, so that gets solar heat too in the winter.
And you dug your own little well here?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done lots of wells.
So how many watts is this system? Or these you got?
This is 500.
500 combined or per panel?
I think it's 450 per panel.
Okay.
So 900 watts. Which is good. I mean, I put down, like right now, there's probably 40 amps going into my battery. So that's pretty good.
And you're running one battery?
I got 2 sets of 6-volt batteries. So 4 batteries. They're big batteries though.
And then you're
500 amp hours.
And then what size inverter are you running?
I just run a 1,000-watt inverter, but most of my house is all wired for 12 volts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then we've got an inverter that we run our internet on and plug in a blender or something once in a while. But mostly everything's 12 volts.
All right. Well, explain the solar oven, yeah.
Okay, this is a solar oven. The idea here is that the scoop...
you built this?
Yeah. Concentrates the sun. The outside of this square is twice the size, or 4 times the size of the window there.
Okay.
So that it's collecting 4 times the area, and then it focuses it into the inside. This thing, when it's nice and sunny and bright, it'll run at 350, so you can actually bake bread in this thing. You can roast a chicken. You can cook rice.
So what is that glass?
Yeah, tempered glass.
And there's a door in the back. You just slide your goodies in.
The season for this is kind of almost over. I mean, it's warm in here now. It's not hot. But the sun is getting kind of low.
Yeah.
This thing is sort of geared for at the equinox, when the sun is at 40 degrees in the sky is when it lines up pretty perfect, because solar, the closer you are at 90 degrees to, you get
Okay.
better penetration and things
Cool.
warm up. And then here is a little greenhouse that I got going.
And this, you built this in the last year or two,
Yeah, a
eh?
couple years ago, yeah, 2023. This is a solar greenhouse.
Just leave this out here.
The idea here with this is that this humming here is this fan that's blowing hot air from the top down into the floor, where I got 6 yards of the crushed stone underneath these bricks.
So the same as
And then it goes down here, and then there's a pipe around the bottom, perforated pipe, so that the stones warm up and this thing stays warm overnight. And it's good to probably I would say -8 or something before I really need to worry about frost.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a little propane heater if I need it. Probably not till November.
So,
I mean, right now
what,
it's
do you have plants overwintering in here? Or?
no,
Nope.
17 degrees in here.
Oh, okay.
You know, I got a little greenhouse on my house that I'll move stuff into, but I'm hoping to keep this thing going until, well, I'll see how the weather does. Middle of November, I'm hoping.
Okay. Then you got some venting and.
Yeah, for in the summertime, open up the vents here. Looks good.
And the materials for this?
Recycled stuff. Me and a couple of my sons took apart a building in Winnipeg and hauled some of the stuff out here. And my boy in town actually did a big addition on his house.
Oh, yeah.
All from recycled materials.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Reclaimed material.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a shame watching all this lumber go to the landfill, and especially old lumber is really the high quality lumber.
Yeah, I had purchased a vacant house in north end of Winnipeg some years ago.
Okay.
And my dad's a home builder. We tore it down, built a new house, but I wasn't there during the tear down, and the demolition company just took everything away, and there were nice timbers in there, you know, 10 by 10 fir timbers.
Yeah, I know, it's a shame. There's nothing worse than watching old lumber get so here's the chicken flock. We'll just have a quick peek in here from the front of it.
Let's see some chickens. Hey, girls.
And we got some babies that hatched out. There.
Oh, yeah.
There's mama here with the 6 little ones.
Oh, those are just fresh ones.
Yeah, well, they're about 2 or 3 weeks old,
Yeah.
and there's another one in here that's younger, and there's one that hatched out in the chicken house just a couple days ago.
So any particular breed, or are these just all a little bit of everything?
All, from Rossland.
Oh, just yeah, her refugees made it over here.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. They lay green eggs, these things.
Yeah, nice.
And there's that other little one over there. By that big black hen is the mama.
Oh, yeah. Got a little squirt there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been hit and miss with hatching eggs, but this batch did good. And I was trying to hatch eggs all summer, and then finally...
like an incubator, or
no,
with the
chicken.
broodies?
Yeah, I'd see a chicken broody.
Yeah.
I'd move her into one of these cages outside.
Right.
2 days later, she's running around the outside trying to get out, so that didn't work. And then finally, in the end of August, they all started sitting, and I had 4 sitting at one point.
Okay, mine all started sitting fairly early, and then I kind of lost track of where the eggs were going.
Okay.
So I didn't really even have fresh eggs for myself for the last couple of months.
Okay.
It wasn't a big deal. It was, I've been eating eggs for years.
Yeah, me too. I love eggs. Breakfast of champions. Yeah. And this is a chicken house here. Big window to the south to let the chickens get some heat in the winter time. Keep some light in there because there's no power and no heat, of course.
A little difficult to get a shot in there.
Gotta clean the window one day.
Go in there.
See here. That's about 3 days old, that one. And then this one, there's a hen sitting on there too. I don't know. She just gave up on it a couple days ago. They must be almost ready to go.
Hey, buddy.
But I don't know what happened. There's been a bit of an issue with other hens sitting in this corner. but all my brood boxes outside were full, so I had to set something up in here. It's sort of not all that successful. But she was on 6 eggs that all hatched, and I think the other chickens didn't like it or something and freaked out on them and couldn't find them. And then
So you have coyote issues or fox or skunk issues out here?
Pretty good. Had occasional skunk, but nothing lately. The last skunk was about 3 or 4 years ago. It's all been good.
Oh, very nice place.
Yeah,
little tractor.
Obviously. And then over here, in my sauna.
A lot of wood piles growing.
Yeah. Yeah, getting ready to start burning it. This here is the sauna. Built this in 1986, cost me 120 bucks.
Oh, wow. Just lower this so we can fit inside there.
Yeah, pretty dark over there.
So you got a little wood stove. I guess you lowered from the outside?
No, I'll show you.
Oh, okay. Crawling in there, and I'll do my best to...
Homemade stove, put the rocks on the top here, get the fire going, let it warm up for an hour and a half. The rocks get hot, sitting here, sing songs, pour water on there. Kind of like a hippie sweat lodge.
Oh, yeah.
And what this is inside here is a self-supporting hexagon with this ceiling, and then I packed the whole outside with fiberglass, and then built the dome outside out of poplar sticks and old bicycle tires.
Okay. Hey,
Nailed it
use
together.
whatever you get your hands on.
Well, that's why it cost me 120 bucks.
Whatever.
What I bought was the cedar here. It was like
60
bucks, and all the rest of it was recycled stuff. And
that cedar lasts forever.
yeah, buddy of mine cut these benches for me years ago out of a hydro pole.
Oh, yeah.
And no, this is great. This is really basic survival thing to have for. I don't have plumbing in the house, so I come in here for get cleaned up and pray. It's good.
Nice.
It's a good thing.
And yeah, it's I guess the structure speaks for itself. It's been here how long, you said?
Since 1986, so almost 40 years. For my 120 bucks has been well spent.
Yeah, good investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then could have a quick peek at the house if you want outside.
Well, show us your first house and walk us through that progression, how you... How you grew from there.
Okay, well this here was my first house that I made in 1982, and for the 2 years before that I lived in a tent. So this was a big step upwards because it stayed dry when it rained. And it started off by having a wood-fired waterbed in there that the idea was to heat up the water and have heat storage, because the smaller your building is, the more crucial it is to have a heat storage system.
Yeah.
Because you open the door to go outside to pee, all of a sudden half your air is at 30 below, and you light a fire and then it's too hot. So I had the water bed in there that worked.
Yeah, the heat capacity of water, get it working for you.
Yeah, the thing with that was that it was hard to get the heat out of the bed. The bed would end up getting too hot and the room would still be cool. So the worst thing about that setup was trying to get up in the morning, because the bed was totally nice and toasty and the room would be cold.
Yeah.
And then you'd light the fire and the bed would get warmer, blah, blah, blah. Now I got a thing in here.
Well, what do you use this house for now?
This is basically my space here.
Oh, okay. The man
play
cave.
Music in here. I don't know if you want to just get in here and you can see the this is the heat storage system in here now. see, you got a stove here. This is the stove used to be under the waterbed,
Oh, okay.
but now it's just got a pile of rocks around
Yeah.
it, and it's in this tin box. So we put the door on it, get the stove warm, and you fire this thing up, and it'll keep the room warm overnight. And in the morning, it'll be like 10 degrees or something in here, even if it's 30 below outside.
And the stove you got for next to nothing, I'm sure.
Guy that lived here welded it up for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, years ago. And I was under the waterbed when the first place the waterbed was over me. And I've changed it around.
Custom wood stove.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of messy in here because
Oh,
it's
whatever.
just my
This is your...
man cave. Play banjo in here. Play
Get the
harmonica.
wife to come clean it up someday.
Oh, yeah, right. You won't come in here. Okay, and then that, and then this is another house that we built for my wife there. She was staying in there for a while. And this is a gazebo that we made that we haven't used for a while.
So that house is being used for what now?
That's a guest house.
Oh, okay.
And
then there's storage.
yeah,
sheds,
that's my workshop,
essentially.
that one, and then that's a storage shed. This gazebo is mostly storage shed at this point.
And then you worked your way up to the house.
Yeah, this is a $1,700 house.
$1,700, folks.
Yeah, well, I probably got more than that in it now, 40 grand maybe.
Sure,
or something,
as you're.
I mean, I
adding
built
on,
it in
but-
1988, so it's almost 40 years ago. I'm gonna let my little dog go.
Sure. Pretty neat stuff, eh?
Oh, buddy!
How's it going? Oh, you want to play? You want to play? Come on, let's play. All right, dog's wilder.
Okay, so anyway, this is the house here. This is the greenhouse that I keep going all winter.
So was that part of the original structure?
Yes, yeah.
So you incorporated
Yes.
that from the beginning?
Yeah, yeah, and then my orchids here. Yeah, and actually, the first house used to be here by this oak tree,
Oh, yeah.
and I pulled it out of the way, and I had built an addition on it, which I used the floor from that addition for the floor of this greenhouse. And then put the rest on here. It's a long story, but
So got a living area in the bottom and bedroom up top?
yeah,
kinda?
yeah, loft up top, living room on the bottom, kitchen stove. The idea with the house is that it's a V with the V pointing to the north, and so then this window is on the southeast, and this whole greenhouse faces south, and the other window, big window on the other side, is southwest, so that after the equinox in the fall, the sun is always shining on the front of the house.
So lots of passive solar heating.
That's the idea, yeah. And also with the solar power, trying to get natural light in the house is important because you want to be able to see what you're doing without having your battery going all the time. And then upstairs, when I originally built the house, I had a flat roof on the greenhouse that came down, and I had printer's tin like on these roofs here.
Yeah.
On there that would reflect light onto the front of the upstairs. And then you can see how the stucco is a bit of a different color there. I had a whole row of windows along the bottom
Oh, yeah.
and a big window on the top where that little window with the bars is.
Okay.
And so that the sun would reflect off the roof and it could go upstairs. It was great in the daytime. It'd be like 35 degrees upstairs, but at night it got pretty cold. So I ended up...
Just too much window, too much glass.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be trying to keep my greenhouse warm. I'd be getting up every couple hours to stoke my stove. Because I had a small granny's cook stove kind of thing with a small firebox. I got a different stove now that goes all night. But I'd go up the stairs in the afternoon and pass out on the bed at plus 35. Be getting up all night to keep the house warm.
Oh, it's a
So
beautiful
kind of
yard with the mature oaks, and yeah, this is a great little property.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it, I guess.
That's the tour.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you always sit down and just kind of,
Sure, for a couple minutes.
yeah, tell your story. Like, how did you get started? Like, what possessed you to do something like this?
I guess it started for me when I was 17. I did a 800-mile canoe trip across northwestern Ontario, and being in the wilderness just awoken part of me that had been there but not totally, I don't know. I feel like I kind of got shaken by Mother Earth and said, wake up, smarten up. And when I got back from that trip, I went back to school and didn't really know how to plug into the industrial world, because to me it was all very destructive. And being in the wilderness where there was no people and the trees were doing good and the lakes were beautiful and everything made me feel that I didn't want to be part of the industrial thing there.
Yeah, awakening to take responsibility of some sort.
Yes. And then I guess a few years before that trip, I'd done another trip through Grassy Narrows, which is in Ontario, where I was at my place in Winnipeg, and I saw a thing on TV about Grassy Narrows where they were loading the people on airplanes because they had poisoning from mercury.
Right.
And it really made the connection to me that the people that were paying for our industrial way of life were not the people that were getting the benefits from it.
Right.
So that by me living in town, ordering a newspaper was killing these other people in a very beautiful spot. And I just didn't want to be involved with that.
It's been like that for centuries, but
yeah, well,
everybody has
but
to.
It was like right in my face, and I thought this is not sustainable for the future, for our children, for the earth, for anything, and the whole industrial mindset and the way that we run our society is not very healthy for people either. It's isolating and just not good. So I was telling people I wanted something different. A guy came to visit me, my roommate actually, and we started talking, and he said he knew some people that lived out in the farm where they didn't have jobs. And I was with a girl at the time, and she said, oh, my sister goes out there. So I said, okay, let's check it out. And then I came out here, and there was 5 people living here in a crew car.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, in the crew car. And I said, okay, went out for the afternoon and said, what do I bring my tent next weekend? They said, sure. So I brought my tent the next weekend. Said, okay, what do I leave my tent and come back the next weekend? They said, sure. Did that for about 6 weeks. And then I gave my 2 weeks notice at my job and moved out here with my tent and $600 and no turning back.
Right.
It's been good. It's been different. Now I had, my kids were born at home here. We got a graveyard here. We lived here for 17 years without having a job to speak of, and then started working part-time as a truck driver in 1997, and then now I'm retired, so it's all good. I really enjoyed being out here. Sometimes it's hard, but a lot of times it's, people would say to me, you know, Mike, oh, you must be so brave to be able to do that. And I say, no, I think you're brave because you get up in the morning, get in your car, fight traffic and cold and blah, blah. And I put another log in the stove and have a cup of coffee. So, you know, you pick your poison, I guess.
Absolutely.
I've been very happy with this, and I would encourage anybody who's thinking of trying an alternative lifestyle to go for it, because we don't have nothing to lose.
So they said there was a handful of people living out here. Like, this started out of that.
Yes.
And so what's here? How much land you got here? Like, how many people are?
Right now there's 240 acres altogether. And we've got about 15 people living here in various households across the land. There's 10 building sites.
Is the guy still living in the car? Or
well, someone is still living in the train car, yeah.
Okay.
Someone bought it. The original people that were here when I first came have all moved on. I'm the only one left at this point.
Yeah, I kind of want to kind of pick your brain on that. Like, how you can launch something like this, start it, but keeping it going. Like, is there a key to that, or like what has been your experience there? Like, you've been here, what, 40 something years?
Yeah,
right?
45 years.
So what have you seen that, like if you could give advice to others, like what?
Well, you have to be patient. You have to be patient with other people. You can't expect to have everything your own way. People are really weird. They do weird things. They say weird stuff. You have to be prepared to roll with the punches. I would think that a spiritual connection with your other people that you're doing it with is very important, to remember why you want to be doing something like this, not necessarily for yourself, but for future generations, and relearn some of the stuff that modern society has helped us forget. You know, raising food, butchering animals, having your garden, storing food, dealing with people, all. It's just
But not dealing with rush hour traffic.
Yeah, and trying not to be spending money all the time is part of the whole thing. Yeah. Doing stuff for yourself,
Less
working with people.
Consumerism, right?
Yeah, definitely. You get away from the consumerism is pretty important.
No, that's amazing. And so what's going on here? Like, what's the community like nowadays?
Well, from my point of view, it was a lot more exciting in the old days when we were starting out. There's lots of people coming and going now. We've kind of settled into this holding pattern. I'm one of the older people here. There's some people my age, and then there's the next group of people is probably in their late 30s, early 40s. We're kind of be good if we had some younger people come out here in their 20s.
Sure.
Start up, maybe a young family or something would be good. Don't know how that's going to go. A lot of the alternative explorations in agriculture and stuff have kind of ground to a halt because everybody has a job, and it's kind of watered down. But it's still lower impact than renting an apartment in town, and you're close to nature. You get to see trees.
Well, you've settled into your lifestyle here, like you're established, like you're here till you're done, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like I guess how do you create the vision, or how do you spark people to jump into action?
Well, that's a good question. There has been some people I have inspired actually to change their life. I think of two people in particular. That one guy I met at the Camp Stevens where I did that canoe trip there. We went to a reunion, and I was telling him about being here, and he was 18 at the time, and I was telling him about building stuff from recycled material, blah, blah, and then I didn't see the guy again for 5 years, and he showed up here and said that he completely changed his life and had started a recycling business in town where he was building compost bins out of old pallets, and he's the guy that cut my benches for me in there. He actually unfortunately passed away in 2008, so I miss him a lot. But he said to me when he came out here after 5 years, he said, you know, Mike, you were the first adult that I talked to that ever made sense. I was 38 when I met him, he was 18, and he took it to heart, what I was saying. And there was another guy I met down in Arizona, kind of gave the same spiel too about taking responsibility for yourself. And then flukily I ran into him in BC at this farm, off-grid farm. He comes up to me and says, oh, I know you, don't I? I said, I don't know, do you? And he said, yeah, I met in Arizona. And I started talking to him. Well, he gave up his stuff and moved out to live in the bush there in BC too. He had built a nice house out of recycled, or not recycled, but cleaning up clear-cut areas and milling the leftover wood. He built himself a really nice house out of
free building materials just lying there on the ground,
waiting
for you to claim it.
Yeah, so that was good. And we used to have Katima Vickers come out here. Katima Vic was a government program that would try and encourage people to explore different things. So we would have host Katima Vic here, and a bunch of them took a lot of stuff away from here that hopefully they're putting into action, and learned about themselves and learned about trying to do things different. The mainstream society is very overwhelming, and it's hard to pull away from that. I mean, and it seems to be getting harder all the time too. So I know for me it doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess 40 years is quite a while. So things are different.
It's just a minute, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like now.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah.
No, this is great. I know you don't have much of a digital footprint on the internet.
No.
So if people are interested, I guess contact me, and maybe through some channels we could get you in touch with Mike. Like,
Sure.
I almost see like a consulting career for you at this point. Like you could charge some big bucks for what you got stored
I
between
mean,
your ears
anybody
there.
that's interested in this thing doesn't have big bucks. So
Well,
that's the
yeah,
thing.
but
I mean,
it's that change of lifestyle. You want to leave that corporate world in the city. You might have a few bucks to
well,
invest,
maybe for sure.
and
Yeah.
it's not downgrading, but you're shifting gears into a different way of living.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so some people might have money to invest.
Well, maybe that could very well be.
So yeah, Mike's your guy to talk to, at least in
Yeah.
southern Manitoba, especially if you need worms.
Yeah, absolutely. You need worms or casting.
Yeah. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's good. I
Yeah.
think we'll drop off here.
Okay.
We'll probably do a follow-up. Like I'm on a 3-week trip here, give or take. If there's mild weather in November, maybe I'll hit you up again just
Sure.
to say hi.
Yeah, sure. That would be
And
good.
if not, maybe next spring.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to see the garden. Have people
Yeah.
see the garden. when
Oh,
it's
sure. Maybe we'll
really
get you
popping
out here
there.
and give you a shovel. Get you going.
I really appreciate it. Yeah,
Okay.
put me to work.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
No,
there you go. Thanks for tuning in,
Okay.
everybody. We'll
Yeah.
see you on the next one.
okay. Good luck.